So first is that the default mode for class is face-to-face class. Um, that is the rules and regulations. Okay. And then second, we have course information clearly defines which actually class is actually online or which is actually face-to-face. So we live in a world where we have to follow rules and regulations. Okay. If, for example, I don't want to follow rules, I better go live in an island. I create my own rule. I follow my own rule. Okay. So there is rules to be followed. So we cannot simply online face to face. It's as simply as you wish. For example, student one or lecturer one. No, because there will be consequences that need to be answered if there is issue later on. Okay, I don't want to be responsible. And then I for this and third is that um, the class is more to face because it's a per student feedback and testimonial on my side where the students difficult to cope for the engineering subject which is calculated based on calculation. I think you guys are aware as well. I think you guys pretty much understand. That's why as much as possible I try to have online face-to-face class instead of online class. Online class like we're having now is like we cannot do anything anymore. Okay, but the show need to go on. That's why we still have this online class. And then fourth one is that I see student performance affected by having online class. So maybe you think online class is relaxing to you, but it's not effective actually compared to face class. In the end, you want to fail, you want to pass, or you want to score as good as possible. That is pretty much also contributed by the mode of the start class. Okay, and then for the 20 November, we will have online asynchronous class because due to election. So online asynchronous class is that I would ask you to watch the existing video that I give. Okay, that I will give that's already there at YouTube, and I will give exercise for you to do. This exercise is the proof that one, that you actually watch my video and will be taken as attendance records. Okay. Well, whatever I do, it is for you because I sometimes I have to force you by giving exercise to ensure that you watch the video. But normally, excellent student they just follow. Okay. Normally excellent student they really pretty much cooperating. Okay. So okay, that's it. Okay, so we'll start the class. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. So I don't know where is the other. Okay, actually there is another students coming from other sections. Welcome to our class. We will be having quiz 3. We will be having quiz 1 in week 3. Okay. If you just attend this class, you need to read the e-learning informations and you need to read our telegram from the beginning. Okay, because you cannot assume that you come later in my section, then actually you need to be briefed from A to Z. I think it's impractical. Okay, and then there will be repeated information. So just read the information. Okay, it is there. Either you want to read it or not, something like that. If you don't want to read it, no one else in the world can force you. Okay, no one else in the world can force you. Okay, but if you are blind but you want to read, you will try as best as well, maybe asking for someone else, whatever. This actually depends on student effort. Okay, I don't want to give lecture in the morning, but this is actually happen, many things happen this morning. Okay, okay, so okay, can you thumbs up who have watched my video, who have watched my lecture video before coming to class today? Don't worry, I won't be punishing you, but I just want to know who actually student making that extra effort. Okay, so good. Because in the end, you will notice, actually easily notice, student that perform is actually the one that do what the lecturer say. Because in the end, it's for you and not for me. I'm still getting my salary every month, but this grade is for you. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. So today is recorded. I hope okay, don't rely on the recording because sometimes I get disconnected or something happen. The recording is not successful. So that the recording won't be long. I will record for the first hour and then I break, then I record again, something like that lah. So that we won't have so much of a long video. And if there is disconnection, if the video is already divided by two, if one is failed, at least we have another second session, not all fail, something like that lah. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen. Sharing. Okay. Show me in front of presentation. Wait. Okay. If you ask me which one I like more, I like I on- I okay, online class is actually good for me because I don't need to move around whatever. But it's not good for the student. Okay.
Kita nak
Okay.
keluar.
Can you mute? We are listening to me, not you. Okay. So do you able to see this screen right now? Can you? Is it yes? Yes. Okay. Okay. How to? Okay. Uh, Hopefully it's still not okay, it's showing. Okay, so in the first class last week, normally I will recap the class. So last time we learned about what is a system, and then before we start the class, I asked in the Padlet why we need to study signal. Okay, so signal is everywhere. So we need to learn them, and you will also use this. You will learn about signal indirectly or directly during your industrial trainings. Okay, so it is pretty much important, and this subject is actually compulsory to be passed in order for you to take semester 5 and semester 7 two subjects. So if you don't perform, which we don't want, then you might complicate the senior year subject. Okay. Okay, so actually in the system, we will have input and output. So we have a system in between. Okay, and then we can have many inputs or one input, and we will have at least one outputs. Okay, so this is pretty much that. I don't want to repeat to too detail because we have touched it. It's just a recap and then involve what. Okay, this subject will pretty much use mathematical equations, okay, function, and then again I repeat again for the students we will have to use appendix quite often in this class. So either you print the appendix, okay, the 17 pages, either you print or you download it in your tablet. Depends, because I allow for the student to bring tablet and laptop in the class. However, if I find even single one student misuse this flexibility by doing something else, then the next class laptop and tablet is no longer allowed, because my responsibility is for you to focus in the class, not to learn something else, to do something else. Okay. And then why appendix is important, because sometimes not sometimes most of the time I will give simple exercise for you to do simple. We cannot use a complicated exercise, otherwise we waste the time. And then by then doing this exercise, maybe you need to refer to the appendix. So you won't be doing as much as good exercise, complete exercise or whatever, if you don't have the appendix with you. Okay. And then I think you noticed our class last time. I think it's inconvenient a bit to use laptop because of the small spaces where you put the laptop. But if you think that you can print it, good. But or tablet, depends on you. Okay. So what is signals? We learned about what is signals. Then types of signal. We learn about 6 types. which is continuous time and discrete, analog and digital, energy and power, deterministic and probabilistic, harmonic signal, and even an odd signal. Okay. So this is continuous and discrete. So continuous, we have all the value across the time domain. Okay, here. And for the discrete, the value is only taken at several at sample time or at every scale time. For example, every 0.1 we take a value. Okay, but between them no values taken. So we don't have continuous value. So that's why it's discrete. Discrete time as per discrete sampling time. Okay. I will sometimes I use interchangeably terms that not maybe not really accurate for your senior subject. For example, in senior subject communication principle, we have term sampling, we have term quantization that is specific for sort of operation. But in signals, we don't really have that. So I would sometimes I use just for your understanding. Okay. So that you easier so that easier for you to understand. Okay, so analog and digital signal, I think you pretty much know. Analog signal is, for example, your voice, my voice, people singing, that is the analog signal. And digital signal, for example, signal from your handphone transmitted, okay, to the bus station or base station to you. Okay, this is in terms of digital signals. Okay. Okay, amplitude of digital signal take value from a discrete set. I think you know this 101, 100, okay, discrete. So this pretty much the picture, the illustration. Okay, so hopefully if you got this in your question, in your test, hopefully you can get it 100% correct lah. Okay, power and energy signal and power signal. So what is the difference and why we have to square it? We have been through it in my pre-lecture video and also in class. Why we have to square it? And our power is actually average, time average. So it's a bit alteration from the energy signal. Okay, so you either have energy signal or you have a power signal. Okay, so a signal cannot possess both property of energy and power simultaneously. So either have one of them. And some signal can be classified either neither as power signal nor energy signal, like the RAM signal. Pointer. Okay. Okay, RAM signal like this. We cannot have something shooting endlessly, but we'll be using them in our subject, but in real life, it's not practical to have this. Okay. Okay. Periodic signal, also known harmonic. So every time when we have harmonics, it's mean repeated. When repeated, we will have a value of n corresponding to integer. For example, from this example, at this side, if you see this side, how many signal is repeated? 1, 2, 3. Am I correct? Then if you see extend to here, we have how many? 1, 2, 3. So 3 times 3, 6. Okay, repetition. So a periodic signal is actually a signal that is not repeated. You can only see 1 unit or 2 unit. Okay, something like that. Okay, but normally it has been shown by this end. And then you also introduced by the fundamental frequency concept and also omega. If you don't understand me, feel free to just unmute your video, unmute your microphone, then ask me directly because I cannot see Webex chat at the same time I'm teaching. Okay, so deterministic signal is actually signal wave where you can actually determine it. For example, at any given time, it has a value. Okay, for all time, past, present, and future. However, probabilistic signal, we can only know by probability it is there. Not 100% is there, but maybe there is a chance it is there. Okay. For example, if you go pass through a field, okay, if you go pass through, for example, shop, okay, if you go to shop, selling food, there is probability there will be people making noise or not, right? So that is like that. So we cannot determine 100% there will be noise, but there is a chance there is a noise. Okay, so this can be analogy to our communication system for the existence of noise. Noise usually is additive in nature. For example, this is your transmitter, this is your receiver. Okay, this is your channel medium. Okay, medium. So for example, A lah, A. Okay, when the signal is going transmitted from the transmitter and going to receiver, we will have maybe the noise. Noise is in terms of addition. Okay, so this is noise. Symmetric is pretty much you understand, right? When we fold it, we have equal side on both, means equal side and shape, so it is symmetric. It is anti-symmetric as when you fold, it's form different shape opposite. You can see here. Okay, I think I showed last time when I fold inside the class. Now I cannot fold on you because how can I fold now? Okay, then after that, why cannot next? Skew and hidden. Okay, this is hidden because of the DC odd signal combined with DC value. Okay, then you learn about time inversion, time shift scaling, time shifting, amplitude inversion, amplitude scaling, amplitude shifting. Okay, time inversion is that we have time inversion, for example, Y, T. If you notice, now is a bit, I can still recap. As time goes by, the syllabus become more challenging. That I cannot recap everything. But I try as much as possible, because if I recap, you can see we already used 70 minutes of our class for me to recap. I'm not even proceed to the next. Okay. So YT, so X, if there is inversion, you will notice here whether plus or minus T. Okay. There is inversion if there is, for example, negative T. Okay. So it will be inverted for the time base. The changes will be along the time axis. Along here. So if there is inversion, as if we have a mirror here. So instead the signal here, for example, it invert, it will be here. Okay. Time scaling means the signal getting bigger or smaller. For example, the initial is here, then it is getting bigger, for example, like this. Okay. So how is scaling involved? X, you will have a constant here. Okay. So if you A, okay, if you A greater than 1, is it smaller or bigger? Can anyone can people answer me in the Webex chat? If A is greater than 1, is it smaller or bigger? The scaling. In the Webex chat, because otherwise too noisy. Good. Okay, it will be smaller. For example, let's say we have A is equals to smaller. Okay, let's say we have A equals to 3. Okay, then tau. Okay, tau equals to 3T. Then T equals to time, that time, tau divided by 3. It is smaller. So if it's smaller, means what is it? Is it faster or slower? In the Webex chat? Is it faster or slow? Yes, correct. Means it is faster. Means instead, for example, for me to go to location A, normally I use 5 seconds. But because it is A greater than A equals to 3, means that I will take 1/3 faster, 30% faster, something like that. Okay. Then we have a time shifting. Time shifting actually it is just move. For example, it move from here to here. Okay. And then we have in the time shifting, we will have again. Sorry, what I'm doing now. So x equals to t, then we have plus minus 3. Okay, for example. Then the next we do is, okay, never mind. Better I ask question so that I want to test whether you know, understand or not. Okay, x t minus 3. Okay, is it going to the left or going to the right? Going to the left or going to the right in terms of time axis? Is it going to left, right or left? Yes, correct. It's going to the right. So the first thing that you should do is actually t minus first 3. So you know it is going to the right. Okay. So if it's negative, it's going to the left. If it's going to the left, what does it mean? Is it bring advance at point in time? I mean, is it earlier or later? If it's going to here, is it earlier or later? Yes, means earlier. Okay, earlier. Or earlier, if it's right, it's got delayed in time. So amplitude inversion is the operation across the vertical axis. This. Okay. So can you mute? I hear some disturbance. Okay. So for example, we have y equals to a x t plus b. Okay. So if its amplitude means no change in the horizontal axis, you won't have anything inside here. Okay, it's only purely amplitude based. So if it's inversion, you're going to have whether positive or minus. Okay, this is inversion. If you negative means if the thing is originally here, if inverse means you're going to have here inverse. Okay, so if a this one is very easy because it's not really confusing compared to time. If a is smaller than 1, is it going to shrink or is it going to be bigger? If a is less than 1, is it going to be bigger or smaller? In terms of, okay, it's going to be smaller. And then this one is actually amplitude shifting. So we have plus minus. So if it's increased, we have plus positive 1, for example, so it will increase by 1. Okay. Let's say this is 3, increase by 1, it will be 4. Okay. And if minus is bringing down. Okay. So I think it's very quite simple. If you don't understand, please interrupt me. Okay, this one no need. No, it's not that no need. I already covered, so I won't be repeating things that already repeated. As well. Today we are learning about method 3. Okay, I won't teach method 1 and 2. You can after I teach this, we're going to have class exercise. Because why? First, I'm assuming, I'm not forcing, because I cannot force if you don't want. Okay, it's like that. Like I told you, I treat you as adults. When I say watch this video, you watch. If you don't watch, no one in the world can force you. Okay, I am assuming you watch the video. Why? When you watch the video, you already have knowledge imprinted in your subconscious mind. When you come to class, it's easier to absorb and we can go faster and we can focus on exercise. Because by doing exercise, you can know or not. And if you do exercise, if you struggle, it's good. It's no problem. Means that you know what you don't know. The problem is that you don't know what you don't know. Then this is the real chaos. Okay, can happen as a student. If you don't know what you don't know, then this problem. If you know what you don't know, no problem. We can try. You can even come to my office asking, I can understand this in class or whatever. But we try as much as possible to solve everything in class, because I know you have your own class. And maybe it's difficult to meet me because sometimes I have meeting, I have other class, I have other things to do. But it's okay. Should that's why I share to my student, to all my student, my teaching schedule. Okay, so you can ask me, doctor, are you free this time? Can I meet you? Something like that. But don't message me last minute. Normally, you can ask me one day before. Why? Because sometimes I have meeting. It's normal. Sometimes I have meeting. Because what I share to you is just teaching schedule and supervision schedule. It's not meeting. Because meeting can be sometimes a whole day meeting, Okay. So I will update you my schedule again today or maybe tomorrow because I already have master student right now, master class. Because if you take final year project, master or PhD with me, you deserve 1 hour time slot with me. Okay, because I take care of my students, all of you will have schedule with me because I don't want my student to fail. I want my student to finish in time and perhaps to score as best as possible. Okay. So I will update the schedule because I already have master student. Okay, I take one. Okay, normally. Okay, so wait. Unshade the screen because I'm going to use the touch screen. So I need to move to the what should I do this? Ensure this card. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Share this. Iqmal, please disturb me. Please interrupt me when it's already 12 because I will stop recording and then maybe we'll have a 10-minute rest. Okay, something like that. Okay, and also I want to reduce error. Should there is problem with recording, kita tak hangus semua lah. At least we have uh, uh, the recording that is not spoiled. Okay, because internet anything can happen. Okay, so please interrupt me at 12, reminding me it's 12. Okay. Okay. Okay, so where is the share button? Share button. Okay. Okay. Again, here you see here. Okay. Then move this and just interrupt me using voice everyone if you don't understand because okay now. So method 3 is the safest and I will not teach many methods. You can be confused if too many methods. And that is also the reason I encourage the student, if you want to change section, better change as early as possible and avoid to have you have still insert a change of section in this week because pretty much week 2 all of the lecturer will be in their own pace and then some lecturer teach different ways. Okay, you cannot have mix of teaching skill. If it's good to enrich you, it's okay, but the problem is you at risk of confuse. Okay, because for example I teach you do this like this, that lecturer teach you that way and the other different way, but in the end all of them produce nasi goreng, something like that. Okay, so it's just the way of cooking is different, so that's why we cannot have too many you don't change at the very last minute. Okay, so method 3, I'm not going to teach method 1 and method 2. So method 3, you can read from the slide. Okay, from the slide, I will going to demonstrate because sometimes it's easy to use to see the demonstration. And if you watch my video, it's actually pretty much understandable. Okay. Wait. Are we using the same example? Okay, never mind. I will use the same example as per slide so that you can relate with the slide. Then we will do the exercise. Okay. For example, okay. So method 3. For example, we have the original signal. Okay, I use different color. Okay. I use, for example, red, red. So let's say we have here, and it's continuous, like this. Okay. Okay. I want, okay. Maybe I need to inform you first. Okay. You need to be alert on the drawing, and also on the information. Sometimes they will, sometimes you can clearly see from the drawing. For example, if I use different color, you can see like this. So if it's like this, is it continuous or not continuous signal? Can you answer me in Webex chat? This is continuous or not continuous? Sorry, sometimes my question is stupid because I'm trying to, to get you understand. Okay, sometimes the problem is student didn't understand the simple things. That's why they cannot answer the difficult one. Okay, because your fundamental is not strong. Fundamental sometimes it can be as very easy as a question like this. So is this continuous or not continuous? Three, one, two. Okay. So okay, this one is continuous signal. Okay. So this one you can clearly see from the drawing. Okay. Sometimes they didn't mention. I mean, they didn't show clearly in the drawing, but they mentioned in the question. For example, okay. For example, they mentioned the graph is showing this value. Okay. The signal shown as in the value, and then they will mention somewhere the rest of the value is 0 for any the rest of the value is 0, so it's like continuous also lah. Okay, depends on the wording. So sometimes it can be shown from the graphic, we can see. Sometimes it is not shown, but it is mentioned in the wording. So please read your question carefully. Okay, so now this is the question. Okay, this is the question, and then they mention it is y t x negative 2 t to t what minus 1. Okay, in method 1 and method 2, okay, this is method 3. In method 1 and method 2, you need to able to identify first whether it is inversion, it is scaling, or it's shifting. If you make a wrong guess or you do something wrong, in the end, everything is wrong. That's why method 1 and 2, I don't teach. And method 3, you don't need to know that in the first place. You can just do everything until the end. Then you get the answer correct. And you can guess the operation afterwards, whether it has been shifted, whether it has been scaled, whatsoever. So this is, you don't need it to know this. Okay, the first step is actually plot the original signal, but you replace t with tau. Okay, first you replace t with tau. Okay, so here you take tau equals to negative 2t minus 1. So the next is that, again in my video, I don't know the terms in English. But in Malay is perkara rumus. I don't know. I really don't know not really don't know. I sometimes forget. Okay, because we learn this in secondary. Okay, the next step is that you need to make t as the only variable here. The only one at your left hand side. And then the rest are putting at your right hand side. Okay, means your original timing now is based on tau. Okay, so you put here now I am going a bit faster. So tau is t is here, and the tau will be next. Okay, so what can we do? So it's actually tau plus 1 over negative 2. Okay, and then when we break it, it will be negative tau over 2 negative 1 over 2. Okay, something like that. Okay, originally it's in T. Now we replace the T with tau. Okay, so you can see there is changes in value. I mean there is some time. I mean there is some time value where the amplitude change. Where is it? It's here. T2. Sorry, T2 pula. T negative 2. There is also changes here. T0. There is also changes is T1 and there is changes at 3. So the step is you need to change this into tau, right? First. Okay. Then number 2, you make the matching value for every tau. Okay. Tau, what is the matching value for the time? Okay. Negative 2, 0, 1, 3. So can you help me? What is the value here for the first one? Take your calculator. Don't be lazy. Anyway, for this class, please bring calculator. Because we're using a lot of calculator. Okay, 0.5. Okay, the next. Negative 0.5. What is that? Negative 7.2. Or negative 3.5. Next. The last one. Betul ke ni? What is the last value? Oh, negative 2, okay. You guys make me worry because I suddenly need to find my calculator. Okay, negative 2. I bring my... Yes.
Sorry for
Sorry, I don't listen just now. Yes?
for the tau one, the T is close to negative one.
Here, negative 1, is it? Am I correct? Negative 1. Okay, then any problem? Okay. Okay, negative 1. Thank you. Betul. Sekejap. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Where is my... Wait Calculator.
Doctor,
Yes?
actually I want to ask about the tau value.
Yes?
Is it like randomly we choose?
No, it's not random. It's based on the green. Remember?
So we need to plot it first.
Yes. Because the first step is that we need to replace T with tau. So that's why we have this graph. Whether it is given to you means you can do it, you just replace it with tau, or you need to plot it. Understand?
Oh, okay, doctor.
Okay. Because sometimes the question they ask you, saya lupa bawa calculator ke? Bukan main lagi. So student bawa calculator. Kejap. Kejap mana? Balik rumah lagi lah saya ni lepas ni. Tadi saya terlupa lah bawa buku buku signal ni. Tapi saya tak apa. Ada. Astagfirullahalazim. Ada. Saya letak bawah benda lain. Okay. So, if this one is either for the signal, thank you for the question because it's good, because if the student didn't ask, then everyone will not know. Okay. So means she get pahala by asking, and everyone get the benefit of the knowledge. There's extra information. Okay. The graph sometimes it is given, is easy. Sometimes it is not given. Most probably the second case. Okay. Most probably the second case is not given. It's give just equation. You need to plot. So you need to understand properly how to draw the graph. Later we will learn this in the more advanced chapter. Okay. So in this example, it is given 3. You see here 3, 1, 0, -2. That's why we have -2, 0, 1, 3. Okay, so we get the corresponding value for the matching t with the tau. Okay, the next, the third step is that we need to plot t axis below t tau axis. So t axis. No, I am checking whether the English here is correct or not. Plot t axis. Oh, okay. Then it's correct. Okay. Because I don't want the student get confused because it's important for you to understand the wording also. So plot the t axis below tau axis. Okay. So this axis, you repeat again. Okay. When you understand this method correctly, you don't have to do this one by one like me. I am doing this one by one so that to ensure everyone understand and no one is being left out. That is why we do it slowly. Okay, when you expert later on maybe you can even do it 1 second for example okay, so I draw again. Okay. Okay, and you see here this is tau axis. Okay, the third step is plot t axis below tau axis. So we're going to have axis. Sorry, I should be using the color as well. And then t-axis. T-axis. Plot t-axis below tau axis. Okay. Then we know that every sampling, not sampling, the time where the amplitude change is every 3, 1, 0, and -2. Okay. Then we can see for the next -2, the corresponding value for the time is 0.5. Okay, matching the matching t. For 0, the matching is negative 0.5. For the next tau 1, the matching value is -1. For the next for the t3 tau 3, the matching value is -2. Okay, I know for some they didn't watch the video. That's why if you don't watch, you will. If you watch, you understand already. So this is it may look against the rule. Okay, why we have negative at the right side of the axis and why we have positive at the negative. Okay, we are not done there. Okay, this is just for our understanding. Okay, then the next you need to plot the real thing. Okay, 4 step. You need to plot the real things. Okay. Then so the real thing you need to plot YT versus T lah. Okay. For example, at negative 0.5, okay, at 0.5 here, you see here at 0.5 or -2, what is the corresponding value? At 0.5 for -2, what is the value? -1. So you go to 0.5. So the corresponding value is -1. Okay, here. Okay, the next 0. Okay, 0 we have two value. It's either 3 or it's either -1. Okay, but 0 is correspond to the negative 0.5 here. Okay, negative 0.5 in time axis. So we can have -1 and we have 3. Okay. So the next is 1 tau. The matching value is -1. Okay, the matching value is -1. But what is the value? Is 3 as well. Okay. And then for the 3, what is the matching value for the time? Is -2. Okay, at 3 is 0. Okay, so at -2 is 0. Sorry. At -2 is 0. Okay, so if we to plot, then we get use different color now. Okay, we plotting that is okay. Understand? Sir can't hear you. And now can listen to me or not?
I cannot, sir.
That's why I told everyone it's either because it's internet. Sometimes it can be at my problem. Sometimes can be at your side. You want me to explain again? Explain the whole thing. Which one do you want me to explain? No, which one? It has been explanation all this while. You want me to explain which one? Step 4. Now ask me what you want to understand, what you don't understand. Arumutan and Rabiul Hassan. Can you ask me what you want to know? Maybe I take I'm not sure. Okay, wait for a while. Maybe I take this one and I put this inside our Telegram. Wait for a while. I put this inside our Telegram because the disadvantage of giving the slide earlier, so that the disadvantage means I cannot share the amendments not amendments, something extra lah. So I put inside our Telegram group. Okay, you guys can refer to it. Okay, so okay. How do I this to re-explain? But sometimes it's the internet, so you have to interrupt me very early. You cannot interrupt me very late because sometimes explaining can be time consuming. Okay, so where is it? So how should I do this? Okay, so how should I do this? Yeah, wait. Small space. Wait. Oh, okay, this one. Okay, I'm looking for bigger eraser. Oh, even though it's bigger, still small. Wait. Anyway, for Arumutan, for Rabiul Hassan, please be honest with me. Do you watch the pre-lecture video or not in the WebEx chat? Be honest. Just tell me you watch it or not. Because if you watch or you don't watch, I able to know actually. Do you watch the pre-lecture video or not? Arumutan and Rabiul Hassan. Can you tell me in the WebEx chat? Arumutan? Rabiul Hassan, that's why I told in the earlier of the class. That's why if the student, want to change section, it is encourageable. I don't know the other lecturer tell this, but it is encourageable to change section in the first week because you might be hard to cope if you change late. Okay, for me it's no problem. It's you. Okay, if you change late, you are going to be at disadvantage. So please read all the information at e-learning and Telegram. All of them. Since the beginning. You cannot assume coming to my class at this very late and just reading the new information. No, it's not going to work that way. Because there is many information before that you need to read. And for my class, because I teach this subject before, so you have the advantage of lecture video. So I told everyone in my class before that they need to watch video before coming to class. Whether they understand or not, that is different story. Because the important part is that you watch the lecture video, means you see, for the other student, you see I'm repeating, right? I'm repeating again. It's okay, but this will create inconvenience because it's like siaran ulangan, but nothing I can do. Okay, I think if there is new student come, I need to repeat again because I know some student don't want to read, some student read. Okay. So you need to watch the lecture video before coming to my class, because it will easier for your understanding, because you will have some information implanted in your subconscious mind, okay, about the videos. Whether you understand or not, that is different thing. But when you come to my class, it's like second time information. For sure, easier for you to understand. But if you don't want to watch it, it's okay. I'm not going to punish you, but you are going to. It depends on you. You want to score this subject or not? Student that want to score, they will work more. Okay. I keep telling to myself when I was student, I was student also like you, degree, master, PhD. I keep reminding myself, especially during my PhD, I keep reminding myself. I even write the notes at my desktop. In life, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Okay, you cannot simply wish for A if you don't work for it. Okay, you cannot suddenly get A just doing nothing in my class, something like that. Okay, because in the end it is for you, so you have to work as I try to have as possible. For example, I'm providing you the chair for you to sit, but I cannot force you to sit if you don't want to sit. Okay, something like that. Okay, I'm repeating number 4. Okay, but anyway, you won't ask this if you watch video, but it's okay. But I'm repeating as well because sometimes, like I told you, the video not necessarily you understand. Okay, that's why we come to class. Okay, so where I ask, okay, so the next step is you need to plot YT versus T. Now I'm trying to be more organized. Okay, not organized, more clear lah. Okay, in terms of my drawing. Okay, so you need first. I always remind my student. Plot YT T plot 0. Sometimes it's look tedious, but it's important actually. Okay, because sometimes when you do the next skill or whatever, but how do I say? When the chapter become more challenging, you easy to make mistake, just not doing this basic. And sometimes, if you don't write this, you miss some marks already. Okay? Sudahlah, sopan belum tentu betul kan? Lepas tu, you hilang markah lagi sebab you tak buat benda basic ni. Okay. Okay, so plus you plot YT versus T and 0. Okay, after that, you see, for example, here we have the tau value, then we need to match with our T. Okay, for example, at T equals to 0.5, okay, T 0.5, you plot first, T 0.5. Okay, for the tau value here, okay, it is -1. So for 0.5, it will follow also negative 0.1. Negative 1. Okay, you see here, negative 1. Okay, and then for zero value at tau, the equivalent matching T is negative 0.5. So it's here. And then from here, at tau equals to 0, you can see there is two value, which is negative 1 and 3. So therefore, at negative 0.5, there is also two value, which is negative 1 and 3. Okay. Betul ke saya ni? Macam ada yang hilang ni. Oh, here. I don't this just now. Okay. And then at T equals to 1 here, at T equals to 1, at tau equals to 1, the value is 3. So the matching T for the tau is negative 1. Negative 1. Okay, negative 1. So what is the value? 3. So we will have another 3 here. Okay, another value here. And then tau equals to 3, the matching time will be negative 2. So that's why you have negative 2 lah. Okay, negative 2. And the tau here, the value is, the amplitude is 0. So that's why the matching T will also have 0. So you have 0. Then you can connect everything. Okay. So from here, if you compare, okay, now. if you compare between the original signal, what color should I use now? This one, A, original signal, and the transform signal. Okay, can you tell me what happened to them in terms of operation? Is it scale, shifting, inverse shifting, or scaling? Is it only inversion? Is it only inversion? Imagine y-axis is a mirror. Imagine y-axis is a mirror. So what is it? Sometimes I'm challenging you. Sometimes I'm challenging you. Whether you until you doubt yourself, because I want the student to know whether they're able to identify or not. That's why sometimes I challenge you in such a way that you doubt your own answer. Okay, first, for sure it inverse because it look like folding. Okay, inversion. But then after that, we will have what? Shifting. But do we have scaling or not? We have scaling or not? Yes or no? Scaling. Yes. So we only have inversion and shifting. Okay. So I just copy paste this to our group. Whether you want to put in your PDF or not, it's okay. It's always good to have more information. But it's okay if you I just put in our okay. Okay, then so the next question, okay, select send now. Okay, so that is the exercise. Don't do it. Okay, wait. So I stop recording. Wait, how should I do this? Dah jadi confused pula saya ni. I mean, I'm searching for the, oh, this one, here. Okay. I stop recording.